One of the viewers who lives here in Winnipeg, after seeing part 3, he private messaged me and he said that cardboard that you were talking about in your video, we call it Coroplast. Now he works in a printing outfit and they use it for making signs, and when they cut the cardboard or the Coroplast down to size that the customer wants, there's a lot of cutoffs, and so he's going to try and get me some of the scraps. Anyway, in the meantime, I've made a plexiglass container here. I just want to sort of experiment with this until I get my Coroplast. And yeah, I'll show you what I've got in mind here. I've made a mold for making my mold. And I've used plexiglass. And this will be my experiment, be my first one. The idea is that this piece here, after I get this almost filled up with the high strength 2, I'll put this in, and hopefully I'll be able to calculate out the volume so that it'll fill right up. Now actually there's an easier way to calculate the volume that I need, and that will be I have to test it to see if it leaks anyway, so I'll just fill this up with water and make sure it doesn't leak, and then put this down inside, and whatever is left after it flows over, well, you just pour it into a container and measure it. That'll be the right amount. I'll probably do that too, but let's see how close I come to 161 milliliters. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check for leaks, because if there is any, they got to be plugged up first. I almost put in too much. Well, I don't see anything, do you? About 5 minutes has passed now, and the water is a lot thinner than the Alumilite high strength 2 is, so if this isn't leaking out, neither will that thick stuff. So let's just put this in here and see what the displacement is. Okay, dry that off real good later. And now we'll pour this into a measuring cup. Now I don't know if I mentioned this before. I thought about mentioning it, but I don't think I did, and that is that I've covered this little block with 5-minute epoxy here to make it nice and shiny, as well as waterproof. Okay. Now, all right. Now, how many milliliters? Okay, that says that's 150 right there, and it's a little bit above the 150, so my calculation was pretty close. So if I make up this much high strength 2, it should be just about right. Now I know that I can use the tare feature on this and zero it after I get the cups on, but if memory serves correct, these things, this thing has a tendency to shut off after a while. Okay, so that's 1.4 grams. I'll just write it down. And this one here is 13.2. Okay. Now, I should be able to zero it by pushing this. There. Now the idea that everything I add to it is going to change it. Alright, let's see what happens here. How am I going to do this? There's no real rush on this because it doesn't start to set until the catalyst gets in there. I thought I had a coffee scoop. Let's just take this off here. How can I do this without making a mess now? You know what? I wonder if I should just try and pour it. Yeah. I'm going to just stop the camera here and just do things differently. Okay, I think I'm finally ready now. Got my gloves on. I got this stuff treated with the mold release. I don't want to touch it because I don't want to, you know, damage any of the mold release. And yeah, this stuff was harder to get out of the big container than I thought it was gonna. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. I've calculated it out that I need to get 17.9 grams of this stuff to be 1/10 by weight. Anyway, and we'll do the tear thing. And I'm just going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I think it should. And I've got 45 minutes from the time I mix the catalyst. Whoops. This is not going as good as I thought it might. It's kind of spitting here on me. Well, alright, I'm making a mess, that's what I'm doing. Let's put this back in here. And I'll just try and pour it very carefully. Okay, 17.9 grams. Little by little here. There's 3.1, 11, 12.3. Whoops. I'm having trouble pouring it here. Okay, I got too much. Maybe I can take it out with this. That might work. Yeah, that's working better. Very close. $17.8. That will be close enough. Okay. Now, like I say, I've got 45 minutes from the time I add these two together. So let's give myself lots of room here. Oh, 0 the clock. And here we go. Now, according to Alumilite's website, you don't need to degas. So if I find that I've got little bubbles that have formed on the bottom of my insert that I'm putting in the mold, well, then the next one I'll degas. But it's not real important, because what's going to happen is you're going to be turning away those bubble marks anyway, so it's no big deal. Okay, I'm going to just shut the camera off and stir this for about 5 minutes very slowly. Okay, I'm not seeing any white streaks or anything that would indicate that it's not thoroughly mixed. Well, let's see what happens if I pour this in there now. And then we'll let it sit for a while, because I know there will be bubbles that are going to try and come to the surface. Okay, maybe we'll just stop here now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the corner first, and then now you see the bubbles come to the surface? Well, what I'm thinking is that they're going to maybe come to the underside of this, but like I say, it won't matter. It's going to be turned away anyways. But it'd be nice if I could get it perfect. I'll get this as straight as we can. I didn't think that this would want to float, but it does. Better get a weight here and put a weight on that. There we go. Now we'll get this as straight as we can, more or less. And may as well pour the rest of this in. It should self-level, I would think. Like I've said before, we'll see what we've got in the morning.